experience of the FDA approval process, and we've done this a number of times before. And our experience has been that it can be very surprising. You may think that you have a great product and a great history and great records, but the FDA are a tough team to deal with. They can come up with things that you haven't thought of, and that's what we saw when we were developing a previous drug. We thought we were looking good, but unfortunately, it really never got the FDA approval, and we invested a lot of money and time in that. So that's why we think, although we're very keen on your invention, we are familiar with the reality of dealing with the FDA. So that's our best estimate is there's a 10% chance that this could go through. So that's a big risk for us. There's a 90% chance that it may not go through.
I understand. And and in the interest of good business, I think everything needs to be done as fairly as possible and as above board as possible as well. So with all that in mind, we have our differences in relation to what we think the success rate of the drug is. You have your reasons, mine being that, as I mentioned, my whole life has been leading up to this. This is not the first supplement or piece of medicine that I have come up with, but it is my first time seeking FDA approval for a particular type of medicine. But I still am very confident, despite your unfortunate incident in the past. I still hold at least a 60% chance that it will be approved. So, Mr. Zincit, I would like to hear which of the packages you would feel is fairest on your end as a company.
Okay, I guess we're the buyer and you're the seller. So could I ask you to give me your preference first? What is your best of the 5 options that we have talked about? What's the one that you would favor?
Certainly. So in terms of other offers the other offer that I have, and to also be for this to be a worthwhile venture for yourself as well, I believe that the offer of option B, I think is quite fair. It matches the offer that I have with Zums, and also I think for yourselves, you believe that there's only a 10% chance of approval, whereas I believe there's a 60% chance of approval. So for me, I think B, it's good for you, but it's also quite fair to me, and it's mutually fair in terms of our estimations on the percentage of the FDA approving the drug.
Okay, yeah, well, it's very good for you. You're getting exactly the same as you would get from Zums, and if you get the FDA approval, you get it almost that much again. You get 15 million over the 20 million. So it's certain. I can see why you would be interested, and that's your choice. I suppose in the interest of being fair and being open, and I appreciate you telling me that, Eli. From our position, our preferred best option is option C, the 20 million up front and the 10 million if FDA approval is granted. Because we have less faith that the FDA approval will be granted. That's our biggest concern.
I understand. Okay, and I will obviously have to discuss this with the lawyer that I'm using in this case, gentleman, Mr. Massey, as I'm sure you are aware, and he will be receiving 5% of the
Mm,
upfront payment as well. However,
yeah.
I, in the interest of fairness, I would be willing to accept your offer of the $20 million upfront, and then the bonus of $10 million if the FDA approval was to be successful.
Hmm.
So if you are happy with that, I am as well. I think it's a mutually beneficial offer. It's in the interest of being quite truthful. It's more than it's fractionally more than I would have wanted myself going into this particular negotiation, and it may be the same for yourself as well.
Well, yeah, I suppose I'm working on the basis here, Eli, that it's only these five offers. There's no in between. It's we have to agree on one of these five offers. Isn't that the
That's
case? That's the
as
way the lawyer set it up for us.
yes,
So yeah, what you're saying is really you're willing to accept the option C, 20 million upfront and 10 million if the drug gets FDA approval.
that's correct. And if we can come to an agreement there, I think that would be great.
Well, as the chairman of the company, it's really for me to decide. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I feel it's the best deal from what I can see. We really are concerned about the FDA approval. So that's really why I would have considered option A as well, where we have no exposure if you get FDA approval. But that 20 plus 10 is the one that we went for. So I'm happy to sign an agreement now on the heads of that on that basis.
That's great.